Obey my commands. Good luck, touch gloves, guys, and let's come out and go to work. First one.
Is it too early, Chairman Emanuel, to demand a rematch?
Of a fight which could have taken place in 1999?
In other words, you're anticipating a great fight tonight.
I'm anticipating a battle, yes.
The roar is one of expectation and fulfillment. A crowd which knows that this has been a fight waiting for years in the making. Two technical boxers of great skill with warrior hearts who can be expected in this opening round to try to figure out what the other man wants to do. Working early with their left hands, hooking and jabbing.
Fireworks are going right away, and both guys are punching not only fast, but they're powerful shots, very well placed. Nothing is sloppy, and it's going to be like this throughout the entire fight.
Barrera throwing his left hook right under Marquez's heart. Marquez working upstairs using slightly greater height.
Both guys are good counter punchers, in addition to being good all-the-way round fighters. Both counter punch very well.
Both can lead or counter.
Yes.
Both can box or punch. Hard right hand by Marquez. Barrera says, I'll throw a hard right hand too.
I don't think I've seen a fighter since Sugar Ray Leonard who responds to a punch as quickly as Barrera does.
And a lot of time, Larry, Barrera looks like he's getting hit. When he doesn't, he has a great way of rolling and taking effective punches away. And that's why he's been through a lot of those fights without getting hit clean when people think he's getting hit. And he doesn't take all of the punishment that people think he's taking.
Right now, Barrera's left jab is beating Marquez to the punch.
There's a heart-stopping intensity in this confrontation. So much on the line, you can feel it in the minds of both fighters. And you wonder if Marquez won't be a tiny bit too anxious against the big fight mentality of Barrera, who's been here so many times before. Good 1-2 inside by Barrera. Marquez countered with a quick left hook. This time Marquez leads with the left hook.
This fight is going to be very
right hand upstairs by Barrera.
Both guys are punching extremely hard and extremely sharp and accurate. I mean, no one can make any mistake at all. One mistake in this fight could turn it and be over in 1 second.
Well, not terribly surprisingly, round one feels like Barrera Morales 4. It's very similar to what we saw in those three fights.
I think a little bit more accurate punching power, I think, from Marquez and even at the time Morales.
And Eric was able to show.
Yeah.
This is world-class stuff, this first round.
Right there, you saw Barrera look like he got hit with a solid right, but he rolled his head, took most of the power out of it.
And landed a telling left hand to the body. Both fighters got in some shots.
Muy bien. Very well. You're doing real good, no problem. All right, close your eyes now. All right, don't go into him. Relax. But you gotta work more that left. Work that left. Come in with that left. You gotta counter punch him upstairs. When he throws, you counter punch.
Right here, you see Marquez laying a sweeping right hand on Barrera right there, and Barrera got hit with the punch. And if he keeps getting hit with those type punches, it can have a big effect. But he rolled half of the steam off of it still. But good right hand.
CombiBox numbers in round one. Barrera 18 out of 47. Marquez 20 out of 62. Barrera at a slightly higher percentage. Marquez throwing just a little bit more. Barrera landed 13 power shots. Marquez landed 14 power shots. In other words, little or nothing to choose between the two fighters. To the degree that anyone was the aggressor, Marquez seemed to want to get off his shots a little bit more, but Barrera was choosing, picking his spots and landing just as hard. And there you saw that Barrera ability to slip the punch by rolling his chin away from the impact. Barrera stepping inside of Marquez right, banging way to the body with a left hook.
Barrera looks very sharp and very fast, much even faster than I even expected.
Barrera trained for 10 weeks at altitude in Big Bear, California. He compared this training camp to his training camps for Prince Nassim Hamed and for the third Eric Morales fight, which he said were the other two hardest training camps of his career.
And he's working very good with a counter left hook whenever Marquez comes in. Sometimes he throws the left hook to the body because Marquez has a tendency to bend over to his right when he comes in. And Barrera's trying to take advantage of it by shooting left uppercuts and left counter hooks.
In this round, Barrera has begun to force Marquez to miss just a little bit more than in round one, stepping inside of Marquez's shots, countering to the body.
I think that Barrera has adjusted what he wanted to do by being the aggressor because he found...
Big left hook by Barrera upstairs. Sees the opportunity and goes at him again.
He found, Jim, that he's outboxing Marquez. He's beating him to the punch, which may be a surprise to both of them right now.
There's a left hook to the body, getting back with the
Marquez
left hook
counters
on top.
with two left hooks of his own. But you're right, Larry. It is Barrera who's beating his man to the punch more frequently than the opposite. Barrera fires a straight right hand. Not a punch he'll use all that often. Good left hook to the body inside by Barrera while Marquez tries to work upstairs, and Marco Antonio ducks the big stuff. Barrera sticking the jab and still beating Juan Manuel to the punch here in round number 2.
I have the feeling, Emmanuel, that Barrera is the more relaxed fighter.
More relaxed, and I'm just amazed by the hand speed that he has. I don't think I've ever saw him faster with his hand speed than he is now.
Barrera making Marquez reach and then stepping inside and tattooing him with hard shots. That was a perfect right hand chop over the top. Marquez missing and missing again. Barrera had a very good round 2.
He looks sensational in the round to me.
Good. You see that 1, 2, 3? That's it. Well done. Well done. Well done. But don't bring your guard down. Your hands up. Your hands up. Show him resistance also. Good. Upper and hook on the left. On the right.
¿Cómo te sientes?
Barrera's left hooks has given a lot of problems to Marquez, and he's mixing up the left hooks. He's doing body punches and punches to the head, all with the left hook.
Through all of his career, he's had one of the better left hooks in the business, particularly the body, but in recent years more frequently and increasingly to the head. Power shots in round 2, Barrera 14 out of 30, Marquez 11 out of 38. Barrera also winning the jabbing contest, 8 out of 27 to 3 out of 24. These rounds are going to be close.
Barrera's doing everything. He's using upper body movement, a little half a step back, in and out to keep him off balance, actually mixing up jabs with his attack, and then counterpunching very effective also.
Once again, he made Marquez overreach, stepped inside and landed a body shot. Now Marquez lands a big left hook. Barrera lands a right hand in return. Marco beginning to pick off punches with his gloves now. Seeing it coming just a little bit. Good left hook upstairs by Marquez. Right to the body, left hook upstairs.
There's one thing about these well-trained fighters. They all usually finish up with right hands, followed up with left hooks. Whether it's a hook to the body or a hook on the chin.
The entire fight has been in the center of the ring. There's been nothing even remotely close to a clinch. This is what we're going to see all night long. Technical skill at its highest level. Marquez landed a body shot, missed big with the left hook. Barrera sticks the jab again, sticks the jab again, sticks the jab again. Barrera brilliant at finding that middle beat in your pattern to hit you with his jab. Just when you don't think it's coming, it comes out like a telescope.
He's made the transition from being a baby-faced assassin to a grizzled sharpshooter.
He's mixing up his everything right now, boxing good. And fight with Marquez, who I think may be still for 126 pounds the best in the world. You can't make any mistakes. And both guys are doing a variety of things. And I think as the fight goes on, it's going to be much more intense.
Like this.
Yeah, and you can't beat yourself up. Not just throwing punches, but power, accurate, pinpoint punches. Barrera's got a strange jab. It looks a little awkward the way he does it. But he catches you because it's an off-beat type jab.
Absolutely. He finds that middle beat in your rhythm.
Yeah.
There were brilliant moments in that round for both fighters.
Where's the ice? You're doing good. Juan, bring your head up. Because you can move your head off to the side and make a miss. Good job. Feeling with yourself with confidence. You're doing real good. You're doing it.
Right here, you see one of the characteristics has made Barrera such a great fighter. Anytime he gets hit with anything, he always comes back with punches.
I'm looking at the three judges at ringside. Doug Tucker, Patricia Jarman, Paul Smith. What a tough job tonight. This is going to be a test of every judge's security. Did I pick the right man? That round was close. Harold, how do you have it through three?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27. Marco Antonio Barrera. Jim, I gotta tell you, I think the guy's just in control of this fight. He's landing a cleaner, harder shots when he has to. He's at the top of his game. He seems to be the utmost of confident, coming forward. He's the aggressor. Marquez, on the other hand, always a slow starter. He started to turn it on in the third round, made it close. I guess he's going to turn it on in rounds 4, 5, and 6 because that's how Juan Manuel fights. 3-0, Barrera.
It would be fascinating to know if any of the official scorers were secure enough to score the first 3 rounds all for the same man. That's not easy when rounds are this close.
So one thing that Marquez does not want Barrera to get going for is his jab, because once Barrera gets his jab to going, he sets up a lot of different combinations off of that.
And he can mess up your rhythm because, once again, he has an off-rhythm jab. He throws it at the moment when you're not expecting it.
Exactly. A lot of guys, when they jab, and take a big step, and you can time and feel the jab coming. He doesn't do that. He just pushes it out from when he looks like he's in a position where he can't jab, he'll jab. And if you throw a right hand over, he turns his head enough to make it where you can't even count all this jab.
And he has a brilliant ability to catch you at the moment when you want to come forward with his jab. So he's shown all of that in the first 3 rounds. And Marquez shows the intensity of someone who wants to stay on the attack and keep the pressure up. Body shot by Marquez. He may try to do more of that as time goes on. Barrera is the one with the body punching stock in past fights.
But Marquez seems like he's trying to get in position to land a good right hand. And as he gets closer to Barrera, he might catch Barrera with that right hand because Barrera won't have enough room to roll it off as the fight goes on.
Uppercut by Barrera. This is a tactical round 4. Barrera seems to have confidence at this point that he can win the boxing match and is confident enough to fight in a tactical fashion. Some thought that he might go to war more so because Marquez is such a skilled boxer. That was a potential low blow call against Marquez. And Barrera steps forward with a perfect 1-2.
Well,
He steps away from the pawing right.
He's getting his jab rhythm to going now. Once he gets that to going, it's all over with. Marquez is still punching very short, active power punches. And particularly I'm watching his right hand. Even though he hasn't been that effective, I'm just seeing it look like that's the shot that he's really gambling on a lot.
But in terms of solid connects, Marco Antonio Barrera is being the boss once again in round 4. And the crowd rises to appreciate the intensity of this war.
¿Cómo te sientes?
How are you feeling? Feeling well. Bring your left or your right up a little bit. The hook and the upper, you haven't thrown the upper. You're good? Okay. All right, jab, jab, jab. And when you have him, set him up. Hook, hook to the body.
Okay. Right here you see Marquez landing, which I think is the punch that he's gambling on to win this fight for the most. It's that right hand. And it seemed like he's trying to get himself in position to land that punch more than any other punch tonight.
Through round 4, average jabs per round. Barrera landing 9 of 28. It feels like more. Marquez 5 out of 25. Harold Letterman gives a round to Marquez for the first time in the fight. And as we mentioned, the official scores tonight, Paul Smith, Doug Tucker, and Patricia Jarman with a difficult job on their hands. Remember many times watching rounds in Barrera's fights with Morales and wondering how could you choose between these two men? Yeah. They score and score and score.
You know, Barrera has that ability because every time he gets hit with a punch, he retaliates right away. So it's hard for a judge to keep up with the score.
Exactly right, Emmanuel, that he doesn't give the opponent or the judges a chance to think that things are going against him.
But Marquez is fighting an extremely determined fight. I see I'm looking at his face. He is determined to fight the fight of his life also tonight. And I think going down the stretch, when neither guy feels that they're comfortable ahead on the scorecards, you're going to see everything go to another level.
Marquez has landed one sharp right hand in this round. There's a solid left hook upstairs for Marquez. Barrera a little bit less active now. That jab not coming out as frequently as it did in rounds 3 and 4.
I wonder if Barrera is thinking Marquez really doesn't like to be coming forward this way. I'm making him uncomfortable because he really hasn't attacked him very often.
Or is it simply that Barrera has fallen increasingly into this pattern later in his career? This is the way he fought Juarez in the last fight.
This is a tit-for-tat fight.
Big uppercut from Marquez. You heard Nacho Beristain asking him to throw the uppercut. He hadn't done so before.
And Barrera came right back with a combination, even though he didn't land, but he fired right back.
Left hook for Barrera. Marquez flailing and reaching to try to land something in return for that. They both have the same instinct for trying to hit back. Crowd oohed and out on the left hook, but Marquez found mostly air. Barrera beginning to stick the jab again. Good left hook inside by Barrera.
Good counter left hook.
Marquez missing with a long right hand. Barrera sticks the jab, sticks the jab, sticks the jab, moves in a radial circle. Marquez with a big left hook. Barrera fired back and missed. Solid shots in that round for Juan Manuel Marquez.
Come on, you're working with your guard down. You're working with your guard down. Bring it up. Come on, stand up straight. Come on, work it. throw more punches. Throw more punches.
No te está haciendo nada, Ima.
Yeah. Okay.
Use the combinations. Get the combinations. Move. Get the combinations and pressure him.
Our shots in round 5, according to CompuBox, Barrera 7 out of 20, Marquez 17 out of 36. So a big edge in power connects in the 5th round for Juan Manuel Marquez. Fight seems to be tightening up on the scorecards, or at least on the card of Harold Letterman. We saw a sign that said cut caused by punch. I'm looking for the cut. It may be a small nick outside the left eye of Juan Manuel Marquez. Left hook for Marquez. Bangs Barrera back against the ropes. It's one of the first times all night that a fighter has had his back against the ropes.
I see Barrera in his body language now is looking to attack.
Barrera holding his hands a little higher, coming forward more than before. When he holds his hands higher, often he jabs more. And he sticks the jab twice there, as Marquez misses over the top.
Marquez is shooting everything with power. Where Barrera mixes up here, so he'll relax, box a little bit, then he'll tighten up. Everything Marquez does has got knockout written on it.
Barrera steps through the clinch and tries for a big uppercut, then dodges a left hand from Marquez. Barrera going to the body. Marquez going to the body. Left hook upstairs landed for Marquez. Barrera trying to counter with a left hook right away. Solid right hand for Barrera as Marquez leaned in on a left. Another big right hand for Barrera. Hot-shotting Marquez, trying to find that spot around the eye where already a small cut has been called. Marquez leaning in to throw the left hook to the body. Barrera sticks the jab to push him back. Hard right hand lead by Juan Manuel Marquez. Now Barrera comes back and fires to the body and upstairs with a right hand. Seeming to warn Marquez against holding. Crowd doesn't like that. Big left hook for Barrera inside. Barrera's had a much more aggressive round here, seeming to understand that he allowed Marquez to be the aggressor in the last round. Now Nady warns Barrera about using his head.
I don't see where no one is doing anything. Just a good fight at this stage, but, you know, that's the referee's call. But it's what's interesting right now, Barrera's trying to throw right-hand leads.
They trade combinations in the center of the ring, and both men land. A fight breaks out in the middle of the boxing match, and the crowd goes nuts.
Come on, when you go in, you hog him when you're on the inside. You got the Vaseline mixed. How is it, Nacho? Come on, more punches. Where are you? More punches, harder punches. Let him see it. Let him see it that you are the man, that you're reign. Come on, you're letting him lead. He's going to come to you now.
First weekend of the Final Four in Las Vegas. Casinos and sports books jammed with bettors. Many of them pouring into this arena to take a break from the basketball and catch a great boxing match between Marco Antonio Barrera and Juan Manuel Marquez. Power numbers in the 6th round. Barrera, 13 out of 32, a higher percentage rate. Marquez, 14 out of 42, throwing more. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 58, 56, 4 rounds to 2. Marco Antonio Barrera. You know, Jim, he just doesn't get busted up. Juan Manuel Marquez, on the other hand, all lumped up, all swollen. I mean, you look at these two guys and you say to yourself, one guy's landing the hardest shots. I don't know why. This fight is about as close as you can be. But Barrera getting off first, I think that's doing a lot of good for him in the eyes of the judges. They always like the aggressor, and Barrera does get off first constantly, landing a lot of good left hooks. 4-2, Barrera.
Card of 4-2 Marquez would in no way be a surprise. Official ringside scores, as we've mentioned before, with a difficult job tonight. 2 great tacticians, 2 great adjusters, 2 aggressive fighters in the ring. Stop! Manny, this must remind you of some great fights from the 50s and 60s.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying just the tension being in the corner with one of these guys, you know, knowing that the fight is up in the air, and, you know, and it's going to probably stay this way all the way to the last round. I don't think no one's going to get a real comfortable decided edge.
Hard right hand by Marquez.
Yeah.
Momentarily stuns Barrera. Barrera trying to show that instinct for fighting back. That was the most eye-catching shot of the night. Another big uppercut for Marquez. Snaps Barrera's head back. And a big right hand over the top. Marquez seizing the advantage in the center of the ring.
That's the punch that I said earlier that he had to watch out for, because Marquez has been really gambling on that punch all night long.
Big left hook for Marquez. Suddenly he's beating Barrera to the punch over and over and over. A spectacular rally for Juan Manuel Marquez punctuates the 7th round. Uppercut for Marquez. Left hook. Barrera stunned and in trouble. Bobbles back against the rope. Marquez looking to knock his man out. Brilliantly mixes in a couple of body shots. Barrera comes back with the left hand.
The right hand from Barrera moved Marquez off him for a moment.
But he's still real vulnerable for that right hand again.
Barrera in more trouble than he's been in against anybody else against Manny Pacquiao in the course of the past several years. You wonder if he makes it out of the round. Barrera wobbly on his feet, trying to mix aggression with defense in such a way as to make it out. Juan Manuel Marquez strafed him with a series of power shots. And Barrera comes back with a right hand. And knocks Marquez down. Amazing. In a round that was almost 10-8, Marquez, Barrera scores the knockdown.
Wait, but Jay Nady may have called it not a knockdown.
That would be wrong.
And now he's penalizing Barrera for hitting him while he's down.
But was it a knockdown?
He signaled that it wasn't a knockdown.
No,
That's incredible.
I don't think it was a knockdown.
You don't think it was a knockdown?
I don't know. I don't think it was a knockdown, but he penalized, I think, Barrera for trying to hit him.
But did he even hit him?
That's
We'll have to look at the
like to
replays.
see.
Was it a knockdown? And
here's the right hand that hurts Barrera so badly.
And he's been...
Here's the end of the round. Right on the chin.
Right hand, it was a right.
How could that not be a knockdown?
That's a knockdown.
That is a perfect knockdown. He hit him with a perfect right hand shot, and his knee went to the canvas. That was a knockdown. And if it's not ruled a knockdown, that's a terrible error. And he took away a point when in fact it should have been a knockdown. A horrible error. Penalizes Barrera and favors Marquez.
Jay Nady was in perfect position to see it. How could he have missed that shot?
So in all likelihood, it becomes a 10-8 round for Marquez. And it could have been at least a 9-9 or maybe even a 10-9 for Barrera. It was a landslide in CompuBox where Marquez landed 33 out of 48 to only 11 of 29 for Barrera. And if it's a close decision for Marquez, that ruling is going to figure in.
Both of these guys are fighting so much determination. And, you know, Marquez still is in a good position, I think, to land that right hand still.
There's a cut over Juan Manuel Marquez's left eye. I thought I saw some blood on Barrera at the end of the round, too, which wouldn't have been surprising. Big uppercut lands for Marquez. Suddenly, Barrera has no way to solve Marquez's power punching.
Well,
he solved it in the last round with a right hand that knocked him down.
Yeah,
and he didn't get credit for it.
Didn't get credit for an obvious knockdown.
You don't want to see a fight like this determined by a referee's mistake. Let's see how it plays out.
Barrera's getting to be round, really tough, right? Just like he did with Hamed. Now he's going to be real rough and low down now.
In the state of New Jersey, they are now using instant replay so that a decision like that can be reviewed and sorted out. If they had instant replay here tonight, Jay Nady might have been ruling a knockdown for Barrera.
Excellent point, Jim.
Great right hand.
What a great fight. Suddenly, we've got a war in there.
Well,
there's no more technical boxing match tonight.
Emmanuel, you called it earlier. You said that eventually it would have to come to this when the fighters realized it was so close they couldn't count on winning by points.
But right now, even though it's close, it's still Barrera better watch out for Marquez's right hand. He's getting so close now that he can't roll the right hand from Marquez the way that he was when he was fresher. And that's still a big danger of him getting caught with the right hand. And as you can see, Marquez is mixing up the right hands over top with right uppercuts.
The drama of the 7th round spills over into the 8th. Now you can almost feel the crowd getting a momentary break as Marco Antonio Barrera continues to try to even the score and get back what he lost in the 7th round. If I'm Larry Hazard of the New Jersey State Athletic Commission, I'm sitting at home tonight thinking I'm glad my state has instant replay, so a mistake like what you're about to look at does not stand. Let's take another look at the knockdown, which Jay Nady ruled not a knockdown. Boom! Perfect right hand shot. Down goes Marquez. That's a knockdown.
That's definitely a knockdown, and it can maybe be a big factor if this fight goes to a decision, too.
Particularly when it wound up being a penalty point against Marco Antonio Barrera. What the justification is for that, I have no idea.
Well, he did hit him when he was down, Jim.
Yes,
Jay Nady was right. He hit him with a shot on top of the head.
Yep, that's right.
And
okay,
he
so
was correct.
That point can be made. All right.
But it would have been a point to his advantage, 2-point round with the knockdown. So
Correct.
That's still a big factor.
Although it was a round in which Marquez was on the verge of the 10-8 round
but
anyway.
That's a 2 or 3 point swing in the scoring. And this fight doesn't look like it's going to be more than 2 or 3 points between them if it goes the distance.
CompuBox numbers through round 8. Barrera 180 out of 464, 39%. Marquez 185 out of 487, 38%. Barrera with an edge in jab connects. Marquez with an edge now in power shots, built up largely over the course of the past few rounds.
Marquez's right eye appears to be closing.
Right or left?
The right. The left is puffed. The right is closing.
And Barrera's starting to land right hands of his own now. He's trying to get in close to the punch now. He's trying to get in with short punches right now. Instead of fighting at a distance, he's trying to barrel in to get in close and land little short punches now.
They're fighting closely enough now that their heads are flirting with each other from time to time. But you're right. Big left hook for Marquez, and Barrera comes back with a solid right hand shot. Barrera seems to be aware now that he's in a power punching war, and he's standing up a little bit better to Marquez's shots and landing his own. Like that. You spoke before the fight, Emmanuel, about the perception that Barrera is the older fighter because of all the wars he's been in, even though Marquez is chronologically a few months older.
But he's not showing that tonight.
What an upset it would be if Barrera could come back from what he suffered in the 7th round and stage a late rally.
Well, he's doing it right now. He's on his way to a victory the way it looks. If he continues to keep working the way he is, and in particular, it seems like he's dictating the pace now. And Marquez is trying to figure out what Barrera is going to do for her. It was a little bit the other way around in the beginning.
Barrera throwing Marquez into the ropes and hammering with the right hand. Meanwhile, Marquez has landed more power shots in the fight than ever before in his career. In other words, Juan Manuel Marquez may be fighting the fight of his life and may lose anyway.
He may lose still.
Well, that three-point swing is a huge swing.
There's no reason not to use instant replay in this sport now. Every other sport enhances itself with electronic coverage. Body shots by Marquez and a big right hand upstairs. Barrera comes back with a flurry of his own and ducks the big left hook.
Doubtful that Marquez has ever looked this way
Uppercut by Barrera.
at the end of a fight, much less at this stage.
And that shows how Barrera's defense is so good. The fact that he's looked like he's been getting hit, but he hasn't been getting hit that solid.
Si no lo agarras arriba, necesitas agarrarlo rápido abajo, gancho al hígado abajo y remate arriba, pero con todo y con todo. Vamos, necesitas remontar.
Look at that CompuBox graphic. Just check that out. That looks like a tennis match statistic. Equal number of punches thrown, one punch difference in the number of punches landed. Incredible. Through 9 rounds.
Right here, you see Barrera coming back with right hands of his own now. He's becoming much more aggressive and trying to get very close because, for whatever reason, a lot of Marquez's punches have a lot of loop in them now as he's getting tired going down the stretch.
It's doubtful that Marquez has ever been in a battle like this. We know Barrera has been.
Power shots in round 9. Barrera 15 out of 32. Marquez 13 out of 35. Again, through 9 rounds, they've thrown an equal number of punches, and they differ by 1 in the number of punches landed. Marquez lands a big right hand. They rally in the center of the ring. Harold, very quickly, your card through 9.
Okay, Jim, 86, 84, 6 rounds to 3, Marco Antonio Barrera. Jim, I gotta tell you, I still think the judges are gonna be impressed by the fact that Barrera gets off first. When he does that, if they see it, he lands the cleanest shots, and that's what he's winning it on. The couple more cleanest shots. 6-3, Barrera.
And now there's blood around the left eye of Marco Antonio Barrera. No doubt the result of a right hand by Marquez. So both fighters are bloodied around the eyes.
There's one thing is not too many butts in this entire fight. Whatever happens is usually from punches. There's not too many head crashes at all.
Series of body shots by Marquez, followed by an attempt upstairs. Marquez has been the aggressor again in the first minute of round number 10. And gets in a big right hand to the mouth of Barrera. Strafing Barrera with body shots and uppercuts. Suddenly it looks like round 7 again, as Barrera is the slower of the two, and Marquez is landing his power shots. That uppercut is really bedeviling Marco.
Well, he's anticipating Barrera to move his head down when he gets inside, and now he's shooting uppercuts. That's on anticipation of where Barrera's head's going to be at.
Barrera starts to go to the right-hand lead, a tactic not previously used, using the straight right to try to set up his left hook. Barrera after 2 jabs. Big round for Marquez. Barrera a little slow with his hands and missing in this round.
Each round seems to be switching back and forth as the fight goes on.
Now Barrera gets in a left hook, ducks a right hand. Marquez mostly reaching there, but he's landed earlier in the round. Solid right hand by Barrera. Momentarily knocks Marquez off balance. Barrera gets in a little left hand uppercut. Marquez tries his uppercut again, leaping with the left hook. Barrera fires his own left hook. and lands it twice. 10 seconds to go in the round. See if Barrera throws in a late rally. They trade shots at the center of the ring.
Wow.
We are back at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, where these kind of fights once were routine.
You've got him. You've got him there. You got to throw those combinations. That's it. To the body, hooks to the body. See, you bring him down. But come on, lively, lively. You have him there.
Con esta.
Where's the Vaseline? Come on, but don't go against the ropes.
Ahí te agarra, hijo.
That's where he catches you. Don't let him take you to the ropes. All right, that's it. Oh, use your speed. Speed, 1-2. 1-2.
Here you see Marquez landing the right hand, but you notice he threw a left hook before he threw the right hand this time, and that kind of distorted Barrera's body, because normally if you throw a 1-2, you can't hit Barrera with it.
A largely swollen Juan Manuel Marquez steps in against an increasingly swollen Marco Antonio Barrera. The fight tightens up on Harold Letterman's card after Marquez clearly won the 10th. Once again, Harold's card reflects in the 7th round the way Jay Nady ruled it. No knockdown for Barrera, deduction of a point from Barrera, therefore a 10-8 round for Marquez. It had been a huge Marquez round up to the moment of the knockdown against him. It was not ruled a knockdown, but which replays showed clearly was. Tactical action only in the first minute of round 11. Now Barrera tries to step up the pace.
You know, yesterday you predicted that this fight had all the possibilities of ended up being a draw, and seemingly you were very right with that, except maybe based on that scoring
Big left
situation.
hook by Marquez. Back comes Barrera. My feeling was you've got two fighters who can adjust from round to round. Why wouldn't it be a seesaw battle? Why wouldn't it be largely even? When was there ever a better chance for a draw?
Seems to me 11 rounds ago I called for a rematch.
Solid contact there for Marquez. Barrera landed to the body. Marquez landed upstairs. Now Marquez tries to go to the body, and Barrera, for one of the few times all night, ties him up. Jay Nady warns Barrera about holding behind the head. Good, solid left hook to the body by Barrera. Stops Marquez in his tracks.
Whatever the outcome of this fight, from Marquez's point of view, he is showing everybody why insiders in boxing, experts, have always considered him in the class of the top featherweights and 130-pounders of his time.
He's showing that he certainly belonged in the discussion, right there with Barrera and Morales and Pacquiao. No question about it.
As I said earlier, if I was having Barrera, this is the last guy in the world that I would want to fight. And it's why I wouldn't let him Nassim Hamed boxing when I
Well, I started to say, when you were training Prince Nassim Hamed, he openly ducked Marquez for 2 years.
He's always, to me, been maybe the best featherweight in the world, just not normal. Even when we had the big fame with Morales and him, I thought he should have been right up there with Barrera and Morales.
Both fighters trying to make statements for the judges in the last 30 seconds of round 11. Which one would you choose?
Hey, Ralph, you hit him with the head. Look, it's the headbutt. Come on. Where's the Vaseline? Where's the Vaseline for the cuts? Oh, man.
This is the last round. This is the last round.
Come on, he hit him.
No detengan los golpes, no los detengan.
Don't hold your punches. Let them go.
Ni uno más, vamos ahorita. Tírenle,
So we got, come on, breathe. We're gonna win this round. We're gonna win this round. It's close. We're gonna win this round. Close your defense. Close your defense.
We just saw the sign put up that a cut was caused by a punch. So was the knockdown.
Crowd rises to applaud both fighters as the 12th round begins in Las Vegas. Big left hook by Marquez to start off the round.
Hey, both fighters at their corner realize that the fight in their man could possibly be determined by the winner of this round here. So there's probably going to be a lot of action this last round.
And the cut outside Juan Manuel Marquez's right eye is big enough now to be bothersome. And to show the blood that might help scorers to lean in one direction, if Barrera can make it stick. Barrera popping little punches inside the storm. Marquez trying to land something big. Now the blood begins to flow outside Marquez's right eye. Barrera got it in a little left hand, enough to open it back up and make it bleed. Marquez trying to get a right hand across the top. The drama intensifies with 2 minutes to go.
Now you may see Barrera's experience pay through this last round because he knows how to box, and when he gets his floater going, he can put together combinations so beautiful and be moving all at the same time while he's punching.
Barrera jab, jab, jab. Throws a little right hand. Jabs and beats Marquez to the punch. Marquez lands a left hook. Barrera backs him off with a right hand. Big left hook for Marquez. Barrera lands a right. Trading punches down the stretch. Another big left hook for Marquez. Barrera momentarily ties him up. In the second half of the fight, Marco Antonio Barrera seems to show a little bit of the wear and tear from his long and difficult career. Marquez shows his tremendous desire to finally win a big fight. Barrera comes back and strikes him with a left hook. Takes a left hook on the chin. Hits him back with one of his own.
This is one of those fights, I hate to say it, I wish I could hear 3 more rounds. 15.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Tony DeMarco and Carmen Basilio.
This is a great fight here. Punches are just so accurate.
It has lived up to its expectations.
And perhaps exceeded them.
Yeah.
Power shots for Marquez. Barrera lands a left hook and steps away. Hard right hand for Barrera. Marquez fighting through the flowing blood. 10 seconds to go. Who will rally last? Barrera lands 2 shots. Marquez tries again. Barrera with a right hit. Big left hook for Marquez. And the bell ends the drama. What a fight. What a confrontation. What a glorious tribute to Mexican fighting.
Let's do it again.
What a challenge to the scorers.
I had Marquez winning by a point.
Which means if the knockdown had been ruled correctly, you had a draw. Harold, how do you have it through 12?
Championship, 114, 113, 7 rounds to 5. Marco Antonio Barrera. I tell you, Juan Manuel Marquez came on around 12. I thought he won a 12th round. Very, very close fight, but I just thought Barrera did a little bit more. I gave it to Marco Antonio Barrera by a point.
So Harold Letterman airs on the side of Barrera despite the 10-8 round in the 7th for Marquez. And you see the tributes on both sides as the members of Marquez's camp are hugging Barrera. And the members of Barrera's camp are trading pleasantries with Marquez. Here's the drama in round 7. First, Marquez hurts Barrera and hurts him badly with power shots in the middle of the ring. It looks for a while as though Barrera might not make it out of the round. He wobbles back against the ropes, put into position to perhaps suffer a knockdown. And then, with a perfect right-hand shot, he knocks Marquez to the canvas, then steps forward and takes a shot at Marquez's head. Jay Nady, the referee, rules, first of all, no knockdown, clearly incorrect. And then, correctly, takes away a point from Barrera for taking a shot at Marquez's head. So there's a 1-point discrepancy between what Nady actually ruled and what reality ought to be. And let's go to Michael Buffer to find out if that 1 point decided something. Here are the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas, before we go to the scorecards, a round of applause for these two warriors in the ring here tonight. The judges' scorecards are as follows. Doug Tucker, 118-109. Patricia Morris-Jarman, 116-111. Paul Smith, 116-111. To the winner, by unanimous decision, and new WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Juan Manuel Dinamita